People always want fresh. It's one of the most demanded and asked for versions of Classic. Because that feeling of companionship, of seeing the world pack, seeing everybody struggle to level and get their gear, seeing the economy be brand new, it's one of the most joyous parts of playing Classic, is being fresh. But despite how much people beg and cry and demand for a new game mode, a new version of Fresh, Blizzard has been quiet. They haven't been quiet in terms of making Classic content, SOD, Cataclysm, which is going to be mopped soon, but there is no news on the future of Classic, and the people really genuinely want to know what is coming next. And right off of that, we have Warcraft Direct. I've been talking about it for quite some time. It's the new version of BlizzCon. Microsoft canceled BlizzCon because there was a whole bunch of problems there. They're doing an online direct only, where we, the player base, get to watch the devs tell us things. There's no interaction, no nothing. They're going to be doing announcements, what's coming in retail, what's coming here, Mob Classic. But for the Classic player base, there are so many directions that they could go that no one is sure what's going to happen to their favorite version of Classic, or if they're going to get an announcement that satisfies them. Now, I opened this video up with Fresh, and the reason I did that is quite simple. It is probably one of the easiest versions of the game for the devs to roll out and let us play in. It's very simple. You just open the server, you do all that stuff, and you let us dive into your favorite version of Warcraft, whether that's vanilla era servers, TBC era servers, Wrath era servers, or Classic progression servers. And I'll cover that in a second, because that is what is coming, and I'm pretty sure about that. Now, as I said, Warcraft Direct is going to announce a whole bunch of things. But what they're mostly going to do is talk about what's already there and what's coming soon. And in this case, we have Warcraft's 20th anniversary patch in retail, which lets you go back and deep dive into the amazing content from BRD, Ankara, some Caverns of Time spookiness, and other world bosses. It lets you re-enjoy all of that juicy content in the modern game, with a whole array of cosmetics. For example, the amazing tier 2 armor sets, completely redesigned, high definition, and look amazing. But as a Classic fan, we have had total radio silence. And this is genuinely surprising, because this isn't just WoW 20th anniversary, it's the Warcraft franchise's 30th anniversary, and it's also Classic WoW's 5th anniversary. Now, every time there's been an anniversary event to some degree, they do something and they announce something. There's a whole quest line or achievement system. For example, the Obsidian Worldbreaker. Cool mount you got on the 15th anniversary. But on the 15th anniversary, we also got Classic WoW. Well, around the same time frame. Now, we know we're going to be getting, for example, a teaser to 11.1, maybe a midnight teaser, and just some announcements, information about retail WoW on that front. But I'm not going to cover retail WoW, because there's no universe in which they do a whole 1 or 2 hour, or even miraculously a 3-hour showcase to show zero things for Classic. Now, people have heard the murmuring of Hardcore Fresh, OnlyFans got delayed, things of that nature, and I'm pretty sure Hardcore Fresh is coming as well. But there are so many game modes in Classic's future. For example, we know that Classic Plus is coming. That's already been confirmed or soft confirmed. Then we have Mop Classic, which we know is coming. The survey is already out. Heck, even I did one, but I'm not going to talk about my survey because you have to sign something. But other people have leaked their surveys, and they're asking your thoughts and feelings on Mop Classic. And for me personally, after Mop Remix, which just happened, Mop Classic is a waste of time. Again, personal opinion, don't hate, that's just my thoughts and feelings. Now, I did just mention Classic Plus, and that is coming. But at best, and if we're lucky, we're getting a 5-second, 10-second teaser trailer. I don't think Classic Plus is even close to being ready to launch. Because if Classic Plus is ready, SOD would have much more content to go in as of this moment. Which means there needs to be something to satisfy the Classic player base in the meantime, as that future builds up. And that's where we, you and me, get the Classic progression servers. Now, depending on who you ask, Classic progression is essentially Cataclysm, Mop, WoD, Legion, and onwards, because that's the direction it's going right now. But for me, and for a large portion of the Classic player base, Cataclysm is essentially the end of Classic. It's the beginning of modern retail. And people want to keep reliving the original world of vanilla, TBC, Wrath of the Lich King, Classic progression. And I'm pretty sure that's what's coming in the future. Because based off the player base, based off the least amount of money necessary to get the most amount of money out of the player base, Classic progression is the way to go. Now, Xbox has been firing people. There's about 2,550 people that have been fired from Blizzard recently. Most of it support staff, most of it marketing, admin, things of that nature, things that are redundant in an acquisition. But 400 developers got fired, mostly from the Overwatch team and the Diablo 4 team. Now, I know Blizzard and Activision Blizzard as a corporation has a lot of bloat. Exactly what devs got fired, that's debatable. I'm not here to talk about what is happening at a corporate restructuring. So Blizzard has to start generating revenue and more of it. Now that would essentially mean an in-game shop in something like Classic Plus or SOD, for example, but that's going to be rolled in slowly and in the distant future. But what can Blizzard do to bump up those sub numbers right now? Classic progression. People have been wanting TBC era. They've been wanting Wrath of the Lich King era. They want vanilla era fresh servers though, because people love fresh. And I said that at the beginning, it's what I opened this video up with. Fresh is one of the most iconic parts of World of Warcraft. Every time you start a new game where everybody is hyped, everybody's excited, everybody's running and trying to rush through the content, discover the new BOE recipe drops first. Just discovering all those things, doing dungeons together, seeing everybody struggle together, having the world so full, being able to type, looking for help with quests and somebody being there to help you. But more than anything, the main reason people want TBC era rather than King era is because that's their favorite game mode. As a vanilla fan, you have Classic era, you have SOD, you have Hardcore. Are these the perfect game modes? Debatably, yes or no, it's not relevant. You have a version of your game to play. But for a TBC or Wrath player, your options are private servers. Even the most popular private servers of all time pale in comparison to the sub numbers of the modern game, of Classic and Retail, because most people are hesitant or anxious about playing on a private server. They don't want to do that. They don't want to lose their effort. They want everything to be there whenever they want to come back. They want to have that safety net of, it's a corporation, at least my stuff's going to be there. Is that a great reason? Now though, I do have to clarify. Despite us getting fresh, despite us knowing we're getting a hardcore fresh or a seasonal hardcore server or whatever it is, despite us knowing we're getting stuff after SOD, for example, Classic Plus. Despite us knowing we're getting a fresh in the future, the timelines are wild and we don't know when any of this will come out. SOD still has about 6 to 12 months of lifespan left. Will they release anything to compete with SOD in the meantime? Aside from a hardcore fresh on November 1st, probably not. I feel like Classic Fresh and this Classic progression system is coming, and 2025 and late 2024 does look and feel juicy and packed. But I don't think we're going to be getting the dream of having every era server and the Classic progression servers out from the get-go in 2025. I think it's going to be staggered. I don't think we're getting our first TBC era server until we go from vanilla to TBC, and then the TBC era server comes at the end when TBC transitions into Wrath of the Lich King. And like I said, it's the easiest money and the least amount of effort. Once TBC era is done, and once Wrath era is done, all you need to do is turn the latest cycle, the latest Classic progression, into the TBC or Wrath era server, end it there, and then start a new one. Every 3 years, every 4 years, every 5 years. They can choose how long they want these servers to last. But again, every time the server ends, merge it into the old era servers. That way, you continuously and forevermore keep having more and more people funneled back into Classic era, TBC era, and Wrath of the Lich King era. These populations will grow slowly over time, and then they'll always keep jumping into another version of Fresh. If you don't want to play TBC, don't play it. But you love Wrath and Vanilla, play those two. You don't like Wrath and you stop at TBC, that's fine. You only like Classic, that's fine. Play Classic, go to Era, and then try the new Classic Fresh again when it happens in 3 or 4 years. Now, like I said, we all have to realize at the end of the day, this is a corporation. And as much as the devs love us, as much as Chris Metzen is a great guy, and as much as the WoW dev team wants to give us a great product, they have deliverables and metrics they have to be held accountable to, because Xbox is part of Microsoft, and Microsoft is a $1 trillion company, and revenue and quarterly growth is more important than anything else. At all times, at all means. And I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm very excited for the future of Blizzard. Perhaps more than any other time in Warcraft's history, this is Blizzard's second golden age. Microsoft is giving them more resources for WoW. They're giving them access to more money. They're letting them be creative, because Microsoft is a hands-off corporation, and so long as you are making money, whether that's 100 million or $1 billion, they're happy. It's only when you start losing a lot of money that Microsoft steps in and starts doing things. So right now, they're cleaning house on the back end. And the future of Blizzard is golden so long as the devs get to stay creative and get to be fun and get to do what they want for the sake of the players. Many of you may have seen Jason Schreier's book, The Rise and Fall of Blizzard, where he talks about how Bobby Kotick essentially forced Morhaime out of the company because Morhaime was tired of fighting Kotick. And Kotick kept draining the fun the creativity, the energy and passion out of Blizzard. Well, Microsoft's taking a step back from that direction. Microsoft is letting Blizzard be creative and letting Blizzard try again. We have to wait a couple years to see what that looks like. But with Classic Plus on the horizon, with SOD doing its best, it's trying, guys. It's actually a good game mode. With Hardcore WoW getting a fresh and Hardcore itself being a great game mode, we also have Cataclysm Classic into Mob Classic, and now we're getting Era Progression servers. The future of World of Warcraft has never been brighter. And I honestly hope they don't fuck anything up, because they are getting community goodwill back piecemeal by piecemeal, and I'm excited for the future. So let me know in the comments down below, what exactly do you guys think is coming? I am certain to a positive T that we are getting Classic Plus, we are getting Hardcore Fresh or a Seasonal Hardcore, and we are getting Classic Progression servers in the future. Well, we also know Mob Classic's coming, but hey. But what do you guys want to come? What is your favorite version of Classic? And are you excited for it? Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. If you hated it, like and subscribe anyways. Be a dedicated hater. Leave a hate comment on every single video. Thank you all. Ebenhard out. Peace.